back at Agohp, and today we're talking about how to raise $1 million, as I've just done it again, and this time from a German individual. And a lot of people ask themselves, what should I do with my life, etc., etc., and how can I become financially free? And I think adding value to people, and that is exactly how you raise $1 million, is how can you add enough value and build enough trust and capabilities to actually add value to individuals who do have a lot of money available to invest outside their business, outside their life, right? Because that's exactly what you have to look for if you want to invest someone else's money, okay? There's a couple of key factors to it, and I'm going to go a little bit more into detail of that. This particular individual is a bad example because I've known this person for over 10 years. But yeah, sometimes to develop trust with an individual, they might look at what you do for more than 10 years. When I was a financial advisor, I was 18 years old. I had absolutely no knowledge about the financial market. I had no life experience, nothing. I just had my German education, and I did my German licenses to be able to sell stocks and real estate and all this stuff. But I had no experience, so why should people trust me? Well, that is a perfect way to start, actually, because I simply kept showing up for over 1 year, 7 days a week, in my office, in my suit. I went to school and to university in a suit, even though I got the looks, and people made fun of me, and nobody out of my field actually took me seriously. So my first clients as a financial advisor, they didn't know me. They were not my friends, they were not family, because these people are actually the hardest to convince. So you want to you want to keep showing up, and you want to create a credible persona. What helped me a lot is clothing. I was even it was a cheap black suit with a white shirt and shitty shoes, but they looked way better than my usual clothes. Don't even judge me on my current fit out. But yeah, back then, for probably 8 years, I was wearing suits every day, from 18 until 25, 26, when I moved to London, etc. So, and then when I was in the property business, I didn't wear suits every day anymore because I was more in the office, and I actually wasn't so client-facing anymore. It was more an operational business at this point, and scaling our internal processes and so on. So clothes weren't that important at this point, but while you're client-facing, clothes are an absolute important factor. And even today, being in Moscow, being in Dubai, being in Miami, being in London, being in New York, if you're well-dressed, yeah, it's the absolute key factor to build relationships, build new opportunities, build a new network. So yeah, absolutely. You want to raise $1 million, get dressed well. Then get into physical shape. I think that's the next absolute super important aspect. If you want to prove people that they can trust you, they need to see, okay, he takes care of himself, he values his own body. So right diet, right sleep, show up to exercise. It's actually quite simple. Most people are obviously weak weasels. They wake up, they just do nothing. They don't want to change. They're comfortable. That's how you never become financially free. That's how you never do anything interesting. That's how you never change your life and make the life of your loved ones better. Actually, evolutionary, this is not the way to go. And evolutionary, it has shown the laws that God created in this universe, that yeah, these people die, or these animals die, or these plants die, whatever organism in this world. If you don't change, if you don't adapt, if you don't stay hard, get harder, learn, and adapt with your environment, you cease to exist. So yeah, it's not even about raising $1 million. Your fitness and taking care of yourself is the absolute number one priority. So going back to raising $1 million, so now you have the right outfit, now you are in physical shape. Now obviously you need to know things and you need to gain experience. And this, what helped me here the most was choosing the right mentor, the right boss. I didn't really have a boss ever. I didn't work for anyone. I started with just 18 years old in an internship, unpaid, for 1 year, for free. I worked every day. I showed up Monday to Saturday. Sundays I came in not because of the internship, just because I found I enjoyed what I do and I found it interesting. I wanted to learn more. So find a mentor, find an environment of brothers. The people that were around me in the office, they were ex-military, they were mostly dudes and some hot girls. So I felt really, I was one of the youngest. I felt really, really good there. So you want to find this environment, and especially a good mentor that you can see, okay, he's very, very good at the things that I need to learn, that I need to become very good at, I need to become an expert at. So you need to surround yourself with this mentor, this boss, and you need to convince this guy to invest time in you. You want him to take you to meetings. So again, you need to be in great physical shape and well-dressed at all times. What also helped me a lot is I'm a very good driver, so these people usually tend to be very busy. And my mentor took me around to meetings simply because I organized his papers, bring him coffee, and I could drive him efficiently. He wasn't worried how I drive. I was driving very fast, but efficient, not dangerous. I'm an extremely experienced driver. So that added a lot of value to his life at the time. So he would take me to meetings, and obviously sitting with a gentleman who's 40 years old and who has won tens of thousands of customers in sales, spending day by day with him is worth way more than any university. It's worth more than any school you can go to. It's all meaningless. All these things, it's all blah 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 blah, all words. It's all meaningless because you can read whatever book you want. This is just blah blah, right? If you don't actually put it into practice, it's fugazi, it's smoke. So I could sit there, put it into practice, and obviously after some time, he actually trusted me. I did some post work for him after these meetings, prepared his next meetings and so on. That's how I learned how to get into this game of advising people what to do with their money. So now when you gain some experience and well, at least you can create an environment where you can fake it until you make it. Because obviously when I was 19 years old and I won my first client, I didn't make anything. I didn't have anything. I didn't know anything. But it looked like I know more than my client, right? So he took his time and sat down with me in the office, spent a couple of hours with me, and I prepared a plan, of course, with help from my mentor, his secretary, and other guys in the office, because I didn't know anything, but I added value to their business, to their life, so they helped me to win this customer over, right? So that was the first experience back then. And how does it all come together today? Well, obviously today I have 15 years of experience as an entrepreneur. I've made people millions of dollars in rental income and in equity growth. And I've purchased hotels, I've built buildings, and it's way easier for me today to actually have a conversation and qualify clients, and people actually are coming to me. I don't really have to go to people. I actually have never done any marketing. All my clients came to me through word of mouth. I'm literally, as we speak, having my first experience with interviews and articles being written about me and this and that in a positive way. And in the past, it was always just hit and stage campaigns from competitors who paid journalists to write hit pieces on me, and that's a completely different experience. But because I've never done anything wrong and I've never taken someone's money and mismanaged anybody's properties, whatever, and actually all my clients, they hold their own assets. So I'm not an investment firm or a fund that holds customers' money and is responsible for it, etc. I'm simply a consultant and very high-level qualified property manager to set up my customers deals, find them deals, make them look the right way, these properties, so there is very high demand in the market. And I do this all in a tax efficient, professional, fast communicative, efficient German way, right? Today the German way is dying. That's why I'm right now in Moscow, Russia, and doing German efficiency over here. Now I'm just living here. I'm actually not doing business in Russia. It's just a nice place to spend the summer, spend a couple of months with good food, great people, good weather. But my business is still mainly in the US, in the UAE and the UK. But going back, just to summarize it one more time, you want to always show up, be disciplined, be there, add value, be dressed well, be in great physical shape, find a good mentor that you can add value to, and he will add a lot of value to you 100 times more. And then you need to market yourself physically or online, whatever you want to do today. 15 years ago, it was very different for me how to market myself. But you want to market yourself to people. You need to learn how to speak. If you're an introvert or you talk too much, you obviously need to learn that. So that's the last level, how to market yourself, learn sales. But I think if you do the first 4 steps, you just keep showing up, you keep practicing, you actually put knowledge into practice, you trial, fail, trial again, stand up again, fail, stand up again. You are absolutely set up for success. So if you like this episode, please like, comment, share this with your friends. There's gonna come a lot more videos like this. Very happy to share a little bit of value with you guys. And I see you next one. Agohp, real talk, unedited, simply few minutes out of my life. See you in the next one. Cheers, guys.